Hello, 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 good evening, good night, good evening. This is Rena, SACHIPRO streamer, and as you can see, I think the camera is kind of upgraded, isn't it? It has much more like dynamic depth, it has much more brightness, it has much more details. Sorry, is it focused? I think it is. This is a much more upgrade from my webcam that I used before. And the best thing about this is that I didn't really spend money on this. This is actually like kind of like collecting the dust in like family home. And I brought it, and with like only like one purchase, which is the dummy battery and the little charger that have like capacity to like really charge this one. So yeah, only like $8. I think I was being able to like revitalize this like piece of like old tech. Even if it's like old tech, it can like shoot in 4K. It have like 240 fps like video recordings, and it have a larger sensor than obviously like most of the smartphones and stuff. So yeah, I'm like recently using a lot of like this to just like how should I put it? Just to like experiment. And yeah, I actually wanted to buy like dedicated like monitor arms and like put it here, but this tripod is also like I have from like decades ago, so like amazing upgrade for a buck. Yep. Right, before I start, I think I want to show something on stream. I think it was like shown in like Rocky's Twitter accounts, but right. Now what is this? I actually wanted to do more like merchandising. Wait, can I? Can. Right, in the futures, I think a really like amazing way to do like expand the brand identities and much more things. Like isn't like better than just making a goods. And like for some reason we like decided to create a little bit of acrylic stands, and there's like only like 2 sets in the world, and this is like samples, but I really don't think I can like ship it like this to like somewhere else than like here. And but yeah, this is my mama's like original drawings, like each of us like eating a meal of our likings, and this is really like kind of like hastily made by the product manufacturers, I guess. There's like a lot of services that can like print shops, I guess. There's a lot of like print shops that have like these side jobs that can be, I don't know, like make them extra revenue. So but yeah, I'd like to expand into more like this aspect of like the YouTube and brand and all of the other things. This Chatbox isn't working anymore. Yes, you can go now, and then okay, cast that aside. Our topic of today is another drinking session of the sake brand that I really adore, which is Yuki-yo-zuki. Is how should I put it? Right, Yuki-yo-zuki is the sake brand. It is not a brand, but like collaboration project between Yuki and Alami and the Meishirui, which is like Japanese like sake brewery, and it was very renowned for winning a really like prestigious titles in Chile. Is it International Challenge, Sake Challenge? As you can see from like here, I think her base model, which is not just Yuki-yo-zuki, is like won a bronze medal. And then her like celebration model kinda get like a silver, was it silver? And because like those sake was like released like 4 times before, I think what I drank was like 4th release or like 5th release. And last year she decided to release a new type of sake, which is Yuki-yo-zuki Bihapo. I don't think it is listed here anywhere in here. Oh, is it like written here as season 6? So then I think the last time I bought it was the last bit of Yuki-yo-zuki from the sake. And then this one, Yuki-yo-zuki Bihapo. Bihapo means a B is like a little, subtle. And happo means it is carbonized. It is sparkleized, carbonized. As in like, if you think about like those like tablets you've put on like water and you dissolve it to make it like a carbonized like mouthwash or something. That is happo. So first time in a while, she released a new line of product, and it is sparkling sake, which I think it is gaining attraction around like a few years back. I think I drank like one sparkling sake in this channel too. And then because it is have more like a fragrant and floral quality of like champagne, it was like big hit toward like younger generations and mostly like the people who are not really into Nihonshu because of this like strong funk and strong alcoholic taste. So sparkling sake is like more aimed towards to those generations. Here is like written like in here, Bihapo. And Yuki-yo-zuki and right. And the reason why this being the celebration model is that I think the 5th release of Yuki-yo-zuki, I wasn't able to get the Yuki-yo-zuki Bihapo for the first like commercial release, which is a different jacket, like different jacket illus and different shape of bottles and different shade of bottles, if I remember correctly. So I was really heartbroken because it wasn't not really like in my control, because Visa and everyone kind of like not agreed to like proceed my payment towards like this, like because there was like a Visa like related issue that you cannot really buy things from like Japan because they have like blocked. So I was really heartbroken, but this time the same issue was also sort of like happened, but I was able to buy it through like external services that like buys it for me. So I was able to like procure this one, and I'm really excited. I don't really like sound excited because I'm really chill. Today I had like plenty of sleep, I had good meals. I had watched a nice streams, a set of streams that makes me really chill. And recently the weather have been really kind. It is like finally going up from like -10 degrees, -14 degrees, and all the other like cold stuff is gone. And finally, it is like still cold, but I can see the spring is kind of coming soon. Now, alright, there's actually one thing I memoed here. Like, Yuki-yo-zuki, first, like recently I have been, studying, yeah. I have been studying like kanji, like the readings. I have been remembering their like names and how they're written. And I actually like, recognize these three letters, which is really simple and like basic letters. This is Yuki. This is like Yoru, like Yoru. This is Tsuki. So Yuki-yo-zuki, I thought it was like some really like serious sounding like sequence of kanjis that written to make like complex meanings, but it was just snow, night, moon. It wasn't like fancy like name or like wordplay or really like amazing names. It was just snow, night, moon. So kind of like fitting her image too. She's like Yuki Hana, so it's like Yuki and Hana, and that doesn't really like correlate. But yeah, if you imagine like you were drinking this sake from dead of the night, late night, under the moonlight, where the little bit of snow is furuiteru, like snow is snowing. Snow is snowing. Table is tabling, mouse is mousing, hand is handsing. So anyways, let's actually taste this one. But I have to get it from fridge because this is sparkling sake. I want to make it like drink it chilled. So be right back. And you. Now here it is, Yuki-yo-zuki Celebration Model 2026. And because of like its celebration model, I believe she's wearing a dress. Yuki-yo-zuki, Bihappo. Yeah. There's a little bit of like her signatures and names. It is only like 13 ABV, which is really yassi, really easy to drink. But since it is easy to drink and presumably full and really easy to drink, you will be really drunk in no time before you manage it. And that kind of like actually like worries me a little bit since I don't remember the last time I drank. I do drink, but I'm like reducing like frequency of my drinking a few more than I have to. I'm kind of holding back on drinking anything actually. I don't have any like liquors or beers or anything in my house right now. Besides from this, of course. So I don't know. Actually. But it's not like I do like weird things when I'm drunk. When I'm like really like drunk, in like nomikai or like drinking outside, drinking with friends, I usually just like go to home. Like sometimes like even without telling, I just like goes home and take a shower and just like sort of sleeps on the floor or like on the bed or something. So yeah. But then again, I think I have like pretty drunk in the stream a few times, so I don't know, but ma, I guess I can handle it. So this is today's choice of glass. This is a champagne glass, which have like accessory. I ordered this for this stream, for the taste of this one, and then this actually comes in two. And as soon as like open the box, one of it like falls down, and it completely like shattered on the floor, like. And then I remember like I like blew the air guns and like wiped the floor, but because of the impact was like so like grandeur, it exploded everywhere. So I'm still finding like bits of like the glass shards here and there, like, in the corners, in the floor. I was like one time like trying to go into the shower because shower is like connected to the kitchen, and I think a little like stepped on like one of the big chunks that was hide inside like the floor mat. So oh yeah, anyways. Let's see, this is kind of interesting. If you think about sparkling ones, you kind of like think it have like how should I call it? In like most wines and most champagnes or proseccos, there's a lot of like dimple around the bottom, so counterbalance the carbonation. And usually they come up with like cork, whether it will be like synthesized or natural. But this one is just a cap. So I'm assuming the bihapo is like means it is not really carbonated as a lager, but more subtle like sud bubbled fizz. I guess this is more like an ale like subtlety on the fizz. Yeah, let me see, I can. There is no like distinct gas release either. Let me smell it. It smells just like any other daiginjo, honestly. It smells very clean. Doesn't have. Actually, kind of smells like grape. How weird. This actually just smells like a bottle of Moscato, the white ones. Interesting. Let me have a pour. I can see some bubbles are forming. Okay, can you see? And there's like a little like subtle bubbles coming up from the bottom. And yeah, this is really subtly carbonized, since I have like drunk not a lot of like drinks that are carbonized, but when it was usually more carbonated than this. Like Prosecco is like really highly carbonated. Even like champagnes, even like cheap ones. But this one is really subtle, almost like non-existent. Bihapo really means subtle, isn't it? It smells like really dry white wines. I cannot smell like carbonation, which is a good thing. It wasn't like charged. It is like naturally fermented. It's nice and cold, and I don't know, nothing really like stands out from the smells. But let's see if that idea changes. Okay, to the creator of this drink, cheers and salute, and to you, your health, your happiness. Bling. Oh wow. Wow. Oh wow. 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 Like say about like how should I like say that, like expectations or version? My god. Okay, first off, it tastes really sweet. Really, really like sweet on the mouth. But as it fades, the sweetness kind of turned into the distinctive junmai taste. This little like broken down. The taste of the rice that usually comes from the fermentation, but it doesn't have the same feelings of what when you like drink a karakuchi sake that is not daiginjo. There is a distinctive aftertaste. It is like kind of murky, kind of starchy, like murky, starchy kind of like flavor, like remains. But this doesn't have any of that. Even daiginjos kind of have those things, but as soon as the sweetness fades, there is a really fragrant aromas coming out without it lingers in your mouth. And then I have to like take an aftertaste. It just evaporates. I think this is because the carbonation is really, really subtle. Not almost like feel it. It is really subtle that it's more subtle than makgeolli and more subtle than, actually this is more subtle than like flat out like Coca-Colas. Wow. But it doesn't feel like bad. When you think about the colas that is like fizzled out, you will think, it is like gone bad, it's like not really good. But this kind of carbonation is nice. Maybe it could be the result of having been have to be move across the country, essentially, and have to be like, stored in like not really temperature regulated areas, but given it was like freshly bottled and there was like a lot of pressure on the top, and it was wrapped in like a paraffin films, I don't think much of the thing is really escaped. So I assume that it wasn't like damaged. I assume the bihafo, this is the most subtle carbonation I have drank. Okay, that is about the mouthfeel. It comes like sweet and rich, like drinking a fruit juice, like 100% like grape juice. It comes in like that sweet, and then without like leaving like those not even like tartness. It's so weird. It like mouthfeel wise, it just tastes like sugar water. Even like with this tastes like sucralose. I think that's the correct accurate description. This tastes like sucralose in soda water that have been like fizzled away. the sweetness is like just faded, like sucralose. Sucralose is like one of the like sweet alternatives, like pure chemical. And it kind of used to like sweeten all of like those like 0 calories and like 0 sugar drinks. And it tastes just like that, but without those like weird chemical aftertaste. Okay, mouthfeel wise, it kind of likes that. How about smells? A little bit of grape, of course. The sweetness this have is more akin to red grape rather than like white ones. This have like more deeper sweetness comes from like shifted to have if it has a spectrum of sweetness from the red grape and the white grape. I think this is like sit between like right here. This is red, this is white. But without a really like sugary and like rich aftertaste. This drink is like strange. Every expectation I had about like this drink, I really thought this would be more sparkly, more like tart, and more floral. But this is a really like how should I put it? Everything about this sake just melts away in your mouth, like a snow. If you pick up snow petals and like put on your lips, there's like a faint bit of like coldness, and it just fades away because it's just water. This tastes like that. Maybe it is kind of like designed to give you an expression about maybe you are drinking or eating a snowflakes or snows, like bunch of snows, but it tastes the smell and the fragrance reminds me of the flesh of the grape. Like there is a tartness and there is a little bit of sourness comes from the white grape skins, and especially the skins. But if you peel away all of these skins and only eat the little grape spot, even without the seed, it have that like aloe like texture and aloe like faint bit of citrusness, more like a sourness, and most of its flavor is dominated by a sweetness. So I think this is why, like from her stream, when it was like first came out and she was like drinking alone with the announcement, she was like, oh, it's sweet, it's so easy to drink. This is just like white wine. This is just like a champagne. And the best ways to describe this is actually, this is a champagne of the fantasy. If you are a young child or a young kid or teenagers and you're like watching all of those like movies and dramas and all the other medias where there's like a fancy party is going on and they're having like these glasses thing going on, and everyone seems like enjoying this, I don't know, the glass of adulthood, because everyone in the parties in the bowl is so mature and they're enjoying their drinks in the mangas, in the movies and all the other stuff. But as you grow up and somehow you are invited to some sort of like, I don't know, company parties or maybe some sort of like social gathering that is a little bit more high class than just nomikai. And first time in your life you taste the champagne and everything you head about the drink. It is like cool, it is mature, it is delicious drink. It shatters when you first taste champagne because it tastes weird. It tastes too little bit of carbonations and too little bit of sweetness. It have funky like fruit taste. It have alcohols that you never taste before. And because you are so disheartened and distrusted by this fantasy that you have conjured up until that moment, you will kinda hate the wines and all the other things that like from like few years from that moment. Because you know it is like fancy drink and it should be delicious. But if you are an adult and you have been into a party for the first time, but if they have been served this Yuki-yo-zuki bihapo as a place for champagnes, I think any like young adults would be 100% satisfied with this drink because this tastes like the exact ideal fantastic I don't know any other adjective. Perfect. Ideal, perfect, and what was I saying? Ideal, perfect, and fantastical drink that you dreamed from your young age. I think this is equivalent of like that imagination. That is why she said it's real easy to drink and it is nice and one glass done. And this really resonate with Hot Illust. This doesn't have auto focus, but bam, like those mini drink. She's holding a little bit of a champagne glass. She's in like party attires, and I think Japan, as a nation, should make a law to serve this drink. They have to make this drink a lot of this drink. They have to have like stockpile of this drink every year, and every like company gatherings and company like company balls and company like parties should be supplied with this drink annually, at least like 50 bottles per year for all of the organizations. It doesn't matter, it have to be like government organizations or like private organizations, companies, maybe like universities. They have to be minimum 50 bottles of this should be distributed by the national law, so young adult can drink the good stuff, the champagne from their dream. It is that good of a drink, I think. Okay, but I think because that is like that easy to drink, it is really it doesn't taste like alcohol at all. I can taste the alcohol because I'm a seasoned drinker and I have like drank a lot of alcohols before and have it easily available internationally. So true. After they saturate like the nation of Japan, it have to be replaced Moët Chandon's, Dom Perignon's, every those brand. It have to be replaced by Yuki-yo-zuki bihapo. So I think the one thing I have to, if I have to like put some like dirt and like smear on this one, is that because this is a such easy to drink, easy to drink, kinds of lacks complexity. have like if you see like a normal distribution the graph, it is kind of like it looks like this, right? And it really excels at what it does, right? This string is like a top of the normal distribution the graph. So this can satisfy majority of people who drinks. This is such a lightweight and feel good to drink because it is really easy to drink. It lacks the complexity of sake. You know what I mean? Because if you are in like a normal distribution graph, a more and more unique and exciting drink tends to be like here, where it have a distinct way of flavor that isn't like enjoyable to everyone. Think about like pickle juice, or think about like durians, think about sauerkraut even, or think about dragon fruit, like pineapples, even the bananas. Some people really hate bananas, and like pomegranate. Everyone like orange. There's like no doubt. Orange is like a staple fruit in the world. And like pomegranate is like here, and like durian is like here, like maybe mangosteen is like here, the lychee is like here. So more and more you are deviate from the normal distributions and like a more norm and going to like extremes. It gives you a really a different flavors that you cannot find elsewhere, right? So because this is such, I hate to say it, but this is such a normie drink, right? This is such a normie drink. Everyone will like this. Every person who like first drink the sake will love this. Everyone who have like a high profile of like taste will like this, because this is such a well made. Its quality is like impeccable in my opinion. And everyone who doesn't have any experience to the good drinks will like this, because this is a really good drink. So because of that, I don't think this has much of an identity. As unlike complex beings, this have identity of like really being a staple drink, but it lacks an identity to be something special, you know what I mean? Cause yeah, it really tastes like, or like it feels like you are drinking a snow, or just plug a bunch of snows and place in your mouth, and voila, it just melts in your mouth, and you are left with a pleasant coldness. But again, I think that was their goal to creating this drink. Not really have to do with satisfy a really like complex tongue of viewer or taster, but rather like give them more easy to drink and easy to be happy about like drink. And that is why I was like talking about this is a staple drink for like people who want to drink a champagne but hates how champagne tastes. Honestly, if I didn't have this alcohol quantity, I would have like drank it instead of waters. It is that pleasant to drink. Okay, then I think I can move on to the next segment of tasting, which is the pairings, right? in the like product description page, there was a segment of this drink where there's a pairing section that describes this food, and the food pairing was around like 6 or 7, and it is go great with this is caprese salad, this is basil, this is cherry tomatoes, and this is a mozzarella cut. And the reason I was like opted to like cherry tomatoes and mozzarella cut rather than like original mozzarellas and the sliced tomatoes is that first, it is really messy to eat and it's a large bite. And second, there is no second reason actually. Just because it kind of like looks better, of course. Yeah, like large slices of tomatoes and large slices of like mozzarellas, but it is a real hassle to eat it on like these streaming settings. So I have about a little bit of like ripe cherry tomatoes and basils and mozzarella cheese curds, and just like mix them in, and I put some like balsamic glaze, which is a reduced balsamic vinegar, so it had more sweetness but still retains the funk and sourness of the balsamic vinegars. And one of the pairing was caprese salad, and when they mean caprese salad, they mean this, but with like olive oils. And I do have an olive oil, but it is truffle flavored olive oils. So I think it would be like completely overshadows the subtle flavor of this drink. So I just excluded that. And one of the other thing was chilled tofu. And it was like specifically like said chilled tofu. So I bought some like kind of like special kind of like tofu. This is not like a regular silky tofu you can find from any other grocery stores. Usually when you make like tofu, there is a process of skimming off or kind of squeeze off those little bit like murky and I cannot really say the exact process of making tofu, but there is a process that involves like taking off some of the protein content. But this tofu is made without those process, so it is really creamy and really like gelatinous. It have like a texture of like really firm puddings. And other food suggestion was that there was like miso saba, which means saba is like mackerels, the fish, the blue backed fish. And miso saba is like a not traditional, but staple dish of Japan, where they braise those fish in like miso and mirin, sake, salt, no sugar, and maybe like soy sauce. And you like braise the fish and you slow cook it, and it become really soft and delicious, and absolutely like eat like 2 bowls of rice with that. But because this house / room / like villa I'm living in have like horrible ventilation, whatever you put on the microwave, it will linger from the kitchen for like 2 days. So if I make mackerel on the kitchen, I'm 100% sure its smell will not leave the place for a week straight at minimum. But the miso saba's like flavors is like fishy, but mainly focused on like miso and it's how it's used. So I put miso with some little bit of dashi to loosen it. I put miso, a little bit of dashi, a rice wine vinegar, mirin, and sugar. And I just mixed it and microwave it for like a minute to how does it? To make the alcohol like evaporate and the sugar to melt into the thing. So this is sort of like a miso glaze, I guess. So, and I tasted it and it was really nice. Right, so, and without further ado, I'd like to go into a pairing sections. And let's see, I'm gonna take a good slice. Where's the camera? Here. So, if you pick up like silky tofu like this in any other situations with chopsticks, it will like flake off and goes everywhere. But this is such like a firm tofu with a really gelatinous texture. You can hold it off just fine as like a jelly or something. Oh, as I was saying that. So let me test this one. Okay, much more flavor of the beans. The texture is exactly like custard puddings. Much more deep flavors. I think I can eat like a bowl of rice with just a little bit of salt on this. This is nothing really special about this one. It's just a really damn good tofu. It's just great tofu it is. It better be because it's like 4 times expensive than normal tofu, so. The more proteins and the more like firm texture, it really keeps this as pudding like behaviors. If I was able to just glaze this with like caramels, you can sell this as like a pudding too. It is that amazing. So the pudding is the tofu is still in my mouth. Let me see how it pairs. As I thought, it just washes off. I think I have said this in the video, the streams I did with Inatsu, where most of the pairings they list is it's not really like evolves with the presence of the drink. But most of the pairings they like make is where the alcohol presence and the taste of alcohol just like erase the side dishes you prepare, and it just removes that flavor completely. And I don't really like the approach of that, as I think I stated from the Inatsu videos. I like when your choice of drink is evolved with the dish you eat, right? I like when I drink my like white wine, if I eat it with some sort of like lemon tart, right? There's a lemonness and there's a tartness, and if you drink like really like fragrant white wine with a lemon tart, it will mix in your mouth, whether it be the aftertaste or the first taste, and it kind of evolves into something new, like evolves into But this one just like completely like cancels out all of the richness, all of the gorgeous silky tofu flavors that lingers in my mouth completely like vanishes with this alcohol present. So yeah, so what should I want to drink with this one? Is the question. Is that I think this should be a really it could be kind of blasphemous, but I think this one is really, really well paired with milk ice cream. Well, ice cream is milk, but unflavored, no vanilla, no nothing, but milk ice cream, I think. Or like a milk, like flaked ice? What was it? Flavored ice, crushed ice. Like kakigori thing. なんだろう、kakigori. Shredded ice? Shredded ice? Shredded ice, crushed ice. What is it? It's not shredded ice. It's not crushed ice. Shaved ice, right? Shaved ice. There is like this. I think it was originated from like Korean dessert makers, where instead of shaving the ice and gives you the crystallized ice, they like super freeze the stream like so basically you spray a milk in the air, and all of these like fine mist like aerosols are insta freeze by the really cold atmosphere inside the chamber, and it gives you a really like silky and flaky and melts in your mouth and just leaves a slight milk flavor. I think this will pair nice with the milk shaved ice or milky ice creams. The reason I think that is that I think this will create as a subtle flavorings to those milk ice creams, because the milk flavor kind of lingers in your mouth a little bit longer, and this one will not take away those like milkiness with the ice cream, but this will like linger with those flavors of the ice cream, and it will elevate the milkiness of the ice cream. And that is why I think it will be really paired great with those milky ice creams. Or what dish this one can elevate? I think this will elevate the flavor of a raw meat, a beef tartare to be exact, or like beef sashimis, because the beef is the distinctive flavors that is kind of gamey in a sense, but like beef tartare or like a beef sashimi have the taste of decay, if you know what I mean. You just like don't serve like freshly like butchered the beef on the plate. You kind of like age it, and by aging it, it can concentrate its like moisture contents, and it becomes more concentrated beef flavors. And because it like lingers in your mouth, I think because from the sweetness and like those lightness of the flavor of the grape, this will create a nice little harmony about. If you think about the jamon, the little Iberico jamon, and there's a little like popular dish called like jamon melons, where you cut up a melon and you put all the Iberico jamon, the ham, the cured hams, over the jamon, and like you sprinkle some like shredded cheese like pecorino or parmigiano, and you eat it like that, and it creates a really beautiful combination of funky fat flavor plus the sweetness and lightness of the melon. And I think some of the cold cuts I even like serve the grapefruit, like some cured meats over the grapefruit, if I remember correctly. And I think those really like funky and fatty cold cuts, that is not cold cut, this is a cured product. So like those cured deli meat product or like a cold cuts will go really nice with this. So if you build like charcuterie board with like a lot of cheese and the plate of cold cuts and cured meat and smoked goods, I think that will have a lot more synergy than the dish they have suggested. That is what I want to say. But how does it taste with a little bit of like this miso glaze I prepared? Let me taste it. So miso is kind of like fermented drink. So if I'm right, I think this flavor can elevate with the presence of this drink. Sweet, salty, funky. A great flavor, great umami from misos and the right like rice wine vinegars. Let me see. Yeah, this confirms my speculations. Like because there is a strong base that is from like miso and the white wine vinegars and like those like mirims, those like umami, those base flavors, it will act as like when you mix perfume, you often have a like base and the middle and the high, not treble, what was it? Top, right? So when to your fragrance, to your perfume to like last longer, you have to have something really deep and heavy base note on top of like this floral and citrus and zesty top notes and the middle note. And this drink kinda smells or feels like eau de toilette. Am I saying that right? I'm not really good at what am I saying? I can't speak French. That's what I want to say. And the eau de toilette is there is like a 3 different like big categories of the perfumes, and I believe there's eau de toilette, eau de cologne, and eau de perfume. Which is the intensity of the fragrance. And eau de toilette is like the most lightest perfume if I remember correctly. And those are like last word like maximum of 2 or 3 hours because they don't have enough like base. They doesn't have like enough base to make that scent linger more on your body, on your clothes, on everything. But because it's like light and really refreshing smelling, it is favored by a lot of people. And this drink exactly feels like eau de toilette. It doesn't have a complexity of the or earthiness of the ground that you can feel from like whiskeys or even like some aged umeshu or like nihonshu. But this is really refreshing, kind of like eau de toilette kind of like taste. So if you drink it with something that have a base flavor, a really strong and funky, or even a really grounded flavor, such as miso, or as I mentioned before, the cured meat or the cold cuts, it can make the flavor profile more full, and you will remember the drink and the dish combined, not separately. So in that aspect, I'm really satisfied about their choice of miso. And I believe if I were to make the miso saba, this would be an amazing combination, to be honest. Because, you know, the mackerel is one of the most like flavorful fish out there, I think. And they taste amazing when you braised on the miso. But by combining like those two, we create a really like umami and heavily flavored dish. And I think that will be amazing pairings from the two of these ones. So 100% their pairings were spot on that regard. But not chilled tofu. Oh, it's just simply to erase the presence of them. I think to extreme, you can just like, how should I put it? You can pick up a little bit like dollops of the miso. You put in your mouth, like let it coat your mouth and then drink. And you can feel it completes the flavor profile from the bottom up. And I'm really enjoying this, honestly. Maybe this is like because at first this tofu is really high quality. This is the best tofu I have eaten in my life, honestly. This like recommended me by my like some friend. And the friend is like vegan activist for a time, and she had a lot of experience about how to eat good food as a vegan. Cause you know, there isn't a really nice like vegan product in the hemisphere of like Asian countries, cause most of the people who live in this country first doesn't really give a fuck about veganism, and secondly, because they have such intertwined, they don't have like a traditional like inherent vegan dish. There is some like tofu. There isn't really a readily available source of like proteins and fat that comes from animals. And whilst so she have a like list of products that could be enjoyed amazingly, enjoyed with gratitude, but it's still a vegan, right? And within those lists, this specific brand of tofu was recommended to me. Because I was saying, man, I was like, I wanna eat more tofu, but I only ate them in like so many applications that I don't find it like interesting or satisfying. And she was like, how about this product? It is really rich in flavor, it has like a unique texture, and it makes you like joyful when eating one. And it really was. And it was surprising because when I heard about the process about how to make this one, it was such a simple. You just skip a step when making and something, and you are kind of like lived with such more interesting and special product. Hmm. 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 I think this could be compared to the coffees. You know, there is like two different distinctive styles of coffee, where it is natural or washed. I feel there's like a third faction of like processed coffee, where like a wet washed or half natural. What was the term? I don't know. When I was studying like coffee, there was like two main types of process. There is natural, which the coffee is preserved with a lot of husk, like a barley rice. There's a lot of husk. There's a lot of more coffee plant in the natural coffee. And there is a washed, which is literally washed coffee without any husk, without any coffee plant attached to the beans. So naturally, washed beans have more refined and straightforward flavors. That is peeking into general categories like clean roasted flavors, when like roasted in certain ways, like floral, sweet, sour, like it have like directions. But natural processed coffee have unexpected gains. Of course, it can have like unexpected downside, where its flavor profile will like go everywhere, since just a little bit of like coffee husk or some sort of another presence of something that's incorporated in the coffee batch. But because of that wildness, it can create such a variety of flavors that cannot really come from those like washed and refined flavors. So I was really like fan of washed and light roast coffees, because they provide the maximum complexity of the beans they can present to me. And the one thing that fascinated me from that was that the one I prefer is actually the product that excluded some of the process. You know what I mean? Because there was a process as of the washing is removed from the general process of the food, it gives me more preferable results. And this is exactly like that. Because they excluded the process of removing some of the bean contents, the flavor, the fat, and the protein contents of the beans, you'll come up with more with flavors and more enjoyable products. And in contrary to this one is like really, I think, heavily processed, filtered, and handpicked to create maximum a conformity, so it can conform every other things within this one. So a really good pair, I have to say. And I just like, my mind just goes to somewhere when I'm making comparisons or like metaphors or everything. Recently, I'm thinking about my tendency to... Like, this is not even tangent. Like, tangent is like, if you have something like a circle, like this is the tangent, right? It is not to the point, but something that is akin to the point, but never reach the middle of the point. That is tangent. And my style of elaborations and comparisons and the thing I want to say is not even tangent. It is out of the point. And it is not really like related to the original point. It just like goes somewhere else. And I don't know, sometimes it could be interesting, but most of the time, because it's not really like within the topic I choose, it could be distracting almost. Because you are speaking about the drink and you're suddenly like brought up coffees. Those are two distinctive things, and even if my brains think A and the B is somehow related, like even if I like speak it really well, as in elaborative and eloquent speech to link between the two, the link between the two only happens inside my brain, so I cannot really properly explain it to anyone. So that is like main thing I want to improve, as in I don't think that's essentially a bad thing, but I do think it could be distracting, because to talk about like one thing, you have to bring it whole other like categories of the things from another, well, categories. You like to listen? Well, that's thankful. But even to the audience had to like to listen. Being as a speaker, I could like better myself to somehow like link between the two kinds of knowledge I have to conform. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say right now, because I'm like, frankly, I don't have a really like good relationships with fermented drink. I get more and more drunk when I'm drinking beers, sakes, or wines, rather than drinking something like whiskeys, gin, vodka. Of course, if you drink a lot of like vodka in short times, you will get drunk. But usually, I get more drunk by drinking like fermented drink. I don't know really why, but I just do. And this is like third glass, and I'm already kind of like dizzy. Like dizzy in a sense of a bit disoriented, but not uncomfortable. Kind of floaty, but not really grounded to the ground, but kind of floaty, and it feels good. But not coherent. Alright, then to the second pairings, I guess I can a little basil leaf, a little bit of mozzarella cuts and cherry tomatoes. Hey, yeah. Cheers? How do you cheer with the food, actually? This is kind of like cute color. Isn't this like Italian flag? I believe because Italianas like have view this dish as is it? I don't know. This is like Italian flag color, so Viva la Italia. I don't know. Is that even Italian? I think that's French, right? Whatever. Cheers. If I have to like say it myself, it's delicious. I don't want to eat one more. The fresh basil is really elevated this dish, and these tomatoes, I have like munching them for a bit of what was it? Like snacks after this, because it was like a riot yesterday. And I can promise that these tomatoes are really nice. It's firm but not mushy. Wait, no. It is firm but not underripe. It is ripe but firm. But it isn't like only like sweet, but it is tangy, fresh, and really nice tomatoes. And I was kind of like worried about the cheese, because this is not like a full mozzarella, but mozzarella cuts, where they form from like a cheese curd and molded into these little balls. I was like curious about whether it could hold to like original mozzarella with the creaminess, but because of this like a little balls, it feels like it's more condensed than the one. And of course, this basil is like fresher the better. And the balsamic glaze, I was worried about it being kind of overpowering to it, but it's just a little bit of kick that neutralized the flavor of the cheese. I'm satisfied. This might be the best caprese salad I ever eaten in my life. And it's made by me. Let's go. How does it fares with this one? Yeah, same as only the tofu. Because tomatoes is really light flavor. And basil's also really light flavors. It is belong on the top note in most of the fragrances. And mozzarella's is not really the best. The cheese for its flavor. Mozzarella is about its subtle flavor that is enjoyable and most of the textures and freshness. So again, just like the pure like chilled tofu, it's a top note versus like top note, so it just disappears in my mouth. So like somehow you are drinking a drink, and with side dish, it's palate cleansing. You know what I mean? It cleanses your palate. completely. I can't really taste of basil or tomatoes in my mouth right now. I can taste just a faint taste of mozzarella because it lingers just a little bit more. So it's again not a really amazing pairings. The miso was much more greater. This one just encourages to drink more because I can drink infinite amount of this drink with this caprese salad because it's fresh, you drink it and it's nothing, so you drink more fresh and enjoyable, and it's nothing after you drink the second one. The basils actually I had to exchange. Was it exchange? But I ordered it like 2 days ago, so it can be arrived yesterday, so I can prep for the stream. But the basil kinda came with the same package as, I think it was tofu, and those have to be really chilled because it cannot be really spoiled. So because of that, they like kind of put on like dry ice and those like iced bags, like those like little plastic packets with a full of water, so you can chill the package while it was delivered. And it completely frozen my basil, so it kind of looked like blanched spinach rather than basil. So I like have sent a message to the customer centers and they like sent me a new one. But yeah, I almost couldn't make this caprese salad because of those like mistakes from the packaging companies. But hooray to the delivery culture in here where everything can be delivered within a day. So cheers to the delivery workers. They are really the backbone of this society. Thank you for them to be able making me able to have this amazing salad for the drinking streams. Cheers to them. There's actually one good thing about, well, there's like a several good thing about the drinking streams, but it urges me to cook, as in literal sense and the figurative sense, as in I live off from like stable food, such as like gyudongs. After the Japan trips, I have been eating nothing but gyudongs for my personal meals, and that is almost like a month ago. And I usually just like live off those like staple food I cook in a batch. But for these streams, I usually cook up something. Well, this isn't like cooking. You just have slice of the stuff and put in the bowl, but you order ingredients that you normally doesn't really have on your kitchens. There is like no reasons for me to stock up on those like fresh basils, but I got them for the caprese salad, and I think this is the first time in my life that I have made caprese salad. So, like, unless you are Italians, how many in your life you make caprese salad by yourself for yourself? I mean, if you're like hosting like home parties, you can like slice the tomato, slice mozzarella, and sprinkle some basil leaf and present them as like a good finger food, quote unquote. And I have certainly like eaten them from like restaurant or like brunch places where like even those like ceremonies. But this kind of food in here that you don't really make in your home. So, well, thank you you can allow me to release this drink so that make sure you can write a description about the drink. This is paired well with the caprese salad. And thanks to me who decided to try out the pairings and actually make it. So, yeah, the first time in my life I have made caprese salad, and it is from the pairings of a brewery X festival. So yeah, whenever there's like a popular pairings that I want to taste with the food, I think I'm trying it, and I think that's a good thing. It urges me to create something out of the norm. Delicious. Maybe I have to encourage myself by picking something like what is the really complex dish? Beef Wellington. Sure as hell I cannot make beef Wellington in this household because I don't have ovens. I think the cream stew from Inatsu was kind of a stretch because I had to like order something from the stores rather than like trying to make one, because cream stew you have to like saute all the vegetables and the meat and then you have to simmer it. Maybe next time I done this like drinking stream I should choose something that I can't make myself as a pairings. Maybe nikujaga? It is not really hard to make. Or pancakes. Surely I can like bake a pancake. Or like a French omelette. I used to make a killer French omelette when I was in like dormitory days. Of course, the dormitories are not really allows the cookware to be used inside the dormitory rooms. Well, like fire hazard and people can actually like make fires, but I said fuck it and actually like brought a little like gas stove inside the dorm and cook my own food, because I think it was like start of the inflations and suddenly the prices of the food in the campus risen, and even the prices of the konbini isn't really looking like it's the cheapest in the world. So I was just like buying ingredients when I had like outing. And I bought some like supermarkets and all the other stuff. So one of the dishes I almost made it daily was French omelette. Well, first I really liked the egg I think I really like egg as a food, as a chicken egg. And I think there isn't a dish I don't like made with an egg. No, I lied. There's just one egg dish I hate. The balot. I think this is like Filipino dish with you boil an egg with the fetus, like underdeveloped fetus still inside the egg. I think like sheer visual of it just like make me revolt. I'm sure it is like delicious because the younger the meat is, it is delicious, more delicious than its like older counterpart. And it is like contained within like the egg, so it will be concentrated and it will taste really nice, and the bone is really soft and every other things. But because of the sheer like visual reasons, I don't really like the dish. Even like looking at it, I just don't like it. But beside that, I think I liked every like popular dish that involves the egg. And if I put my mind to it, I can eat like dozens of eggs per day. With 3 in the mornings, 4 in the lunch, 3, 4, that's 7, 5 in the dinners if I really want to. So yeah, I was buying like cartons of eggs every week so I can like make scrambled eggs, I can like boil an egg, I can soft boil the egg, I can even like tamago kakegohan, I can eat it raw, I can eat it cooked. And one of those staple dish I really enjoyed was French omelette because I have a thing for butters. I like butters so much that I sometimes dream about eating a stick of butter. Of course I shouldn't, but I don't know, the smells of the like butter kind of appeals to me so much that I want to just bite into the stick of butter if I want to. And one of the things I like as a food in this world is like butter toast. Like the toast that is like 2 or not 3 centimeters, but 1 or 2 centimeters thick, and you put like another butter in the middle and you put it in the oven and make it toast. Those like butter toast is one of the things I like most in the thing, so I like the flavor of the butter. So how about coating the fan with butter and putting some like beaten egg and fold it so it can have every layer of egg and butter and all of it is a gorgeousness. So yeah, firstly I just started from just scrambling the egg on a fan. Just like I put another butter and just crack an egg 1 or 2 and just scramble it, put some salt, and in like 2 or 3 minutes you'll come up with really buttery, smooth, and really taste like omelette, the scrambled eggs. But then I watched like some videos about people making a French omelette in a pan, so I like started to like master it. And one of the techniques was like you hold the pan like this and you goes like this. You can slowly like turn the omelette and it rolls really perfectly. And I think I got it like near perfection one time. I was like using those like square egg pans, but I got it so perfect in one time. I showed it to my roommate at the time, and they went like, "Holy shit! There's a quality of you can like get it from like restaurant," and I kinda really liked the remark. Well, it is kind of natural because I was making almost every day. I was like, keep making like those omelets after like day for the dinner. So, but that was also a long time ago. I don't think I can make it right now. Huh? Where this story have derivated from? Why I started talking about omelets? Cooking thing? Hmm. Yeah, I love eggs. I want to do like more with it. Maybe I could make egg Benedict next time. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe that isn't the worst idea, cause the hollandaise sauce is made from the egg yolks, right? And you only need like double boiler, so I don't need like that much of instrument to make the food. So I can just make hollandaise sauce by myself. But you have to have like vinegar and olive oils, and they might be a little bit bad. But one thing I like to master is a soft boiling an egg and making onsen tamago, which is the white and the yolk. It's so ever slightly cooked in a low temperature for like a lot of time. So it will be like silky smooth when you crack it. It's still like runny up all sides, but still cooked. So like a better version of the low egg. And then the last one is the sauces I can make from the egg, like mayonnaise or hollandaise, or even like custard. I want to try like those things in the future. Eggs. I like eggs. Why do I start liking eggs? You ever met a person who hates eggs? I think I have met a person, like people, who doesn't like specific form of eggs. I have seen, well, the majority of people who eats food doesn't really like a raw egg. Because like most of the countries, it is like unpasteurized, so it have like danger to infecting you with like salmonellas and stuff. And like frankly, like raw egg isn't the food that appeals to everybody. There's applications to on raw egg. Even if you like separate the egg yolk, people doesn't really have like a appealing thought about eating a raw egg. And then there's a people who doesn't like the runny yolk, which is acceptable. Not acceptable is which is like normal. People who like a fully cooked egg, whether it be fried or boiled or steamed. And there's a people who doesn't really stand a specific way that is cooked. Like overboiled egg or egg. Some people really hate the texture of like a chopped and or like a blended egg, where like deviled egg, right? Some people really can't stand the way that it tastes. This is kind of weird, but and some people doesn't really like scrambled egg. Some people only like over easy or sunny side up or yeah. But I like all things food that is come from egg. Unless it's like spoiled. I like tea eggs. I like those like fermented eggs too. Like those like Chinese stinky egg. I have like tasted them and they are like rice magnets. They're so funky and deep in flavor. Like low-key you can put like a little piece of it over the rice and you can like empty the whole bowl of rice because of the flavors. So besides from the chicken fetus egg, I think I like most of the eggs. One thing I kind of like envy about like those big streamers. The big streamers, I mean, someone has like 200, but about that actually. I have just like noticed on my my YouTube dashboard that I have somehow picked 20 subscribers. And this is astounding because if you know me, that I don't really like advertise or do a content that is trendy. I am a streamer from this production who just do whatever I like, and like depending on like people who I know before or not, it somehow make people who are unrelated to me somehow pressed the subscribe buttons, and it was 20 of them. It is kind of amazing because 20 people can absolutely fill this place where I'm living in, to the corners to the room to the room, to the wall. 20 people standing in this room that I will not have a place to like lay down by myself. And it was like really, really astounding that somehow it was reached like more than 20 people. Because if you somehow press the subscribe button, then you are the minority of the people who are exposed to my like contents. So it was kind of astounding. Okay, so what I have like kind of like envious to the big streamers who have like more than like 200 people or like 100 people or more, even like 50 people who are watching their streams, is that I kind of like envious about their ability to keep bouncing off from the comments, As in, I myself as a person who doesn't really need that much people to elongate my train of thought, I don't really need people to keep talking about what I like and keep talking about what my experience is. But it surely is helpful to keep talking about the topics or the other topics when there's like simultaneous people who can contribute to the stream, no? Because whenever you say about something, like given there's like 20 people in this room, right? If I say something like, yo, I don't like sour apples. And even if like 19 people were saying, yeah, I don't like sour apples too, sweet apples are the justice. There might be like one person who will say, no, I like sour and tangy apples the best. What the fuck you are talking about? And that creates an opportunity for me to talk about why I don't like the sour apples, or maybe the experience I have toward the sour apple, like those little bit of like inputs that consist in the chat. It's helping the streamers to more express themselves, more emphasize with the viewers, or more against the viewers, which is not a bad thing. Even you, like, whether you emphasize with the viewers or you are going against the viewers and create the same attention and attractions. And I think I was kinda envious about like big streamers. Easy. They have it a little bit more easy because they have spent more time to nurture and grow their communities as much as possible. Because I don't really have, like, SACHIPRO doesn't really have strategy for expansions. If I were to expand myself, I would making like 3 shorts videos in a day and talk about like popular memes and trend, or maybe who knows, I would be making a killer political streamers. Who knows? I have that thing in me. If I like talk about all the politics every time, who knows how much people I can attract or trying to kill me. So, because I just like do whatever I want to do, it doesn't really bother me. Like, I have to, maybe there's like privilege of a person like me who have a lot of things to say and have a lot of things that I want to express. And that whenever I like turn on my brains and turn on my streamer mode, like quote unquote, I feel like I'm more connected to myself rather than the other people. But for some people who I kind of struggle to be like stay concentrated for the most of the time when they're streaming or like doing the vibe, those like constant input of the opinions are really interesting. But you know, like if you are watching a streamer like purely for their personalities, the most fun you can have is when the streamer's personality is like clashing or emphasizing with someone else from the chat. If the streamer is like fighting from their chat, as in not really like serious, like fighting, like I'm right, you're wrong. It is kind of funny in that way too. But if the streamer have some sort of like misunderstanding about some phenomenon, as in if the streamer doesn't know why the sky is blue, and if streamers are talking about how the sky should be purple or yellow, and there is a surge of people who just goes in and told the streamers to, no, you fucking idiot, there's a reason why the sky is the blue. And then there could be like there's a discourse about the thing, and they can create a little memorable experience with the viewers. Or even there is a chance where someone talking about the beauty of the blue skies, and there's a sort of viewers who are emphasized with the sentiments and talking about their personal stories and everything. So yeah, that it's kind of like perk to have a really like amazing Jachu streams, as in like Jatsudan is inherently and predominantly have a word for conversation, the dan part, right? Jatsu is about the randomness of the topics, and dan is about the conversation, the kanji is. So it's essentially about talking beside one personality and the others. So it is an interaction between the two that consists of jatsudan. But in my case, it is more like a preaching, you know? Because I have like so much like things to say to the world and too much things to say to you guys, that I can like conjure up any stories of any things that have like maybe like deep buried into my minds or deep buried into my brains, and I can just like, express them however I want for how many like hours that I can, unless the thing is like running out. But sometimes I just think that like hearing like Jatsudan streamers and like those things, and they had fun while like essentially conversing with the viewers, and those I sometimes like envy them, because not in a sense I dislike the current circumstances, but I envied in how much it could be easier when you are asking questions or saying some remark about something, and then there's like, I don't know, 10 people who are talking about their experience in the chat. And you can just pick their sentence and read it out, and it can create really reasonable and amazing interactions between you and the viewers. And those are kind of like envious I am, because in that moment you are really connect into the viewer or viewers to create something like meaningful, as in a bond or interactions or relations. So I kind of really like that. And you don't have to really come prepared, you know? You don't really have to prepare to talk about certain things. And I think some Jachu streamers usually come with like topics or the subject they haven't encountered and gonna come from stories. But sometimes you can just open the stream and it is like almost dictated by the viewers. If you just turn on the streams and chatters are talking about how was your day, how was your work, how was your something life, and you're talking about your life and about the day or the week. And then it can suddenly shift into like some aspect they were talking about, and it can like elongate into like a speaking the catch the flag game, where you go here to catch this flag and go here to explain this one, and suddenly you have like discourse with viewers about some topics, and it creates a little like a really nice friction and tension, and somehow will resolve. And those experience, I feels like it's ultimate form of like conversations. Because you know, I hate interacting with people, I hate socializing. But if it is like those formats, I think it will be really enjoyable. Because you don't really have to consider about like their in real life expressions or like non-verbal signatures, and you don't have to really feel the atmosphere. Everything they say on the chat, as in the text form, is the exact representation of they want to say, even if they have like hidden agendas, even like double entendres or like backhanded compliments. You can like perceive them as it is, and those liberty can really comes in handy when you keep talking about and keep chatting about those things. And who knows, maybe I hate the experience. Like imagine like 100 like strangers suddenly comes into my streams and they are talking about the various things in the chat. Various like discussing how my salad is looking like this and how they hate basils and they prepare like a lemongrass or something. And who knows, maybe I just hate their presence at all. So yeah, that was just my thought. I thought it would be interesting to like have those experience, but who knows, but maybe I hate those experience. Doesn't have to have an airhead like me as a viewer, no. You are more like a part of the group rather than just a singular viewers. The viewers doesn't really comes in, well, almost every time. It just comes in and spend the time. A viewer is essentially a viewer because I know because I'm a viewer. Viewer is someone who views and that doesn't really interact with me or other members of the productions or even with the stream itself. And they are just like bystanders who just comes in and check out, just like I do with many other people's. So like calling yourself is like viewer is kind of like this qualifying yourself. You are more than just a viewer, so don't worry about that one. And if you have like strong opinions and always want to like correct streamers, because I have like seen a lot of people who just want to correct the streamers to align them to be more like themselves. Through like super chats, through like donations, through like marshmallows, through like Discord if they have like Discord servers open. And there is like more than you think of people who want to make the streamer they watch into more more like a person they are, and which isn't a bad thing. This is a natural as a human who want to convert people to be more aligned with themselves, because everyone just like wants a society where everyone is essentially a you. Everyone is a version of yourself. And every other individual is just a version of yourself. And it is true for like religious sense, but it is like literal for many other people who watches and enjoys the live streaming contents, or even just interacting with other people in general. And it could be really, really, really overbearing to some streamers, you know? Imagine if you turn on the stream, and every time you turn on the stream, someone is consistently donate you $50 and told you to drink water right now. And you cannot really be mad at them because they are maybe like worried about you. They are trying to like warn you about like dehydration because their personal circumstances is like they haven't drink enough like waters and maybe are risking health problems, so they really want you to not like to like go through the same process of like not drinking water. So but if you stream like 3 times a week, and every time 3 times a week those same chatters just comes in, donate you like $50 and told you to drink water, and it will drive you to the nuts in a month. Because in the first time you see something like that, you will think like, yeah, I should drink water, and maybe you flaunt yourself by drinking water in the stream, or maybe like calling them out to like, thank you for drinking water, and just drink water. But if we just like keep happening every time you stream, then it could be a little bit more burdensome. And because they are contributing to you in a sense that is positive, you cannot really like say like bad thing about them. Maybe like in 1 year you can finally like snap and told the person to, yo, please stop sending the drink water super chats. It's driving me nuts. I'm a like grown adult. I can drink my water by myself, but that requires a lot of like a braveness and courage to actually go against the one who are objectively like saying you a better things or best things or optimistic things, but in a way they want to change you to the something you aren't. Because you don't really have to drink water if you consume a lot of like moisture from your food and your things, and you don't really have to like drink water every like 1 hour. You just have to drink like 1 or 2 a day if you keep like eating like fruit or keep like eating something like soup or something. You don't really have to like drink and hydrate through electrolytes and everything. So yeah. Rather than having like those dilemmas, I appreciate more laid back and emphasize or just be what you are, because there is no wrong in being what you are, there is like no wrong to be yourself, unless yourself is undevil. Then we can agree that you are being yourself can harm the society. But I don't think there is a devil among the humans. If there is a devil among the humans, that would be a devil's, not the humans. So being yourself isn't a thing that will bother me, but whilst being yourself and trying to convert every other people that around you as yourself could be like bothersome, especially in this world where everything doesn't really have consequences or feedbacks or reactions even. So don't really worry about like being yourself and listen the chat, because I appreciate you. Speaking of like airheadness, I think in the past, I think it was just a late night drinking stream without having like one of the fancy bottles that I want to feature. I think I talked about 3 hours with my mic muted before like someone actually comes in and say, are you muted? So I don't think I have like liberty to call someone airheaded, because I see like those like bars in like OBS and the microphones like picking from the audio interface, and I thought I should be like talking to the world, but I was like muted inside the OBS for 3 hours before I realized. And I I think for the streamers, the one who really appreciate is the person who are always like talking about the audio stuff, you know? If you are first like goes hello. How was your day? Good evening. And someone just says, oh, your volume is a bit low. And every other streamers who deal with audio stuff is instantly grateful to them. And you're talking about like you're playing games, and even if you are seeing the like wave and like decibels and like really tune the volume settings, and even if you do that, there is a chance that where every game have a different audio mixes and different audio decibels, like audio levels, that your perception of those like volumes wouldn't really correlate to your the viewers. And even if you monitor your streams after it is started, you will 100% not have like the same perception to the mass. Maybe you prefer your voice and vocals to be a little more higher volume than the game. Some people would like your game audio to be same as your speaking audio, so it could be more immersive. And like those like various like feedback, especially on the audio side, because you know the visual side you can just see from the OBS, from the YouTube side, you can just see and check something is wrong. But audios, even if you just watch or listen to yourself to the monitors or even to the streams, there is like a million other variables that can make the stream like worse and for the better or like anything. And I'm just infinitely grateful about the people who are just talk about the volume, how the volume is how. And it is like especially goes to like singing streams, and you know, I watch a lot of like singing streams, and people who can chat when like it is like obvious to like point it out when the streamer is like opening their mouth like this. Not any sound is like coming out because like they were muted. It is obvious thing to like point out, right? Oh, excuse me. But if you are like singing and maybe your voice is a little bit too lower, so the BGMs kind of overpowers you, or maybe your voice is kind of louder than the instrument, so it will like peak more than the instrument. It could be a little awkward to point that out whilst the people are like sending danmaku or like just like singing along. It could be like a little bit awkward to point that out. But as a streamer who are dealing with audio stuff all the time, whether it be the audio mix or the mic settings or OBS settings or the stream shenanigans, I'm just like infinitely grateful about the people who are exactly like knowing about, oh, the instrument's a little bit higher, and oh, you have your reverb on. Oh, your voice sounds a little bit louder than the BGMs today. And those little feedbacks that kind of gives you a sense of how to correct and be better yourself, because those are really nice, and you are serving the kind of like purpose, quote unquote purpose to the streams. You always say, oh, the audio is a bit lower to the game side, or oh, your voice is a little bit louder. So it is really grateful thing. So don't worry about that point too. Vegetables, they're delicious. There's some like basil leftovers. Maybe I could make some tomatoes. I can make some pasta actually. I can cook some spaghettis and I can like quarter the cherry tomatoes. And I can also like saute them on the olive oil. And after the pasta is cooked, you can drop into the sauteed tomatoes. And you hit it with some fresh basils and the fresh peppers. And then you put some like olive oil, like those mozzarellas on the thing. And you finish it with a little bit more olive oils. If I have like a lemon, it could really like benefit from like a lemon juice or a little bit of acidity or zest. That's a shame. But I think I can really make us really refreshing lunch tomorrow. If I wake up a little bit earlier than I expected, I can make some tomato pasta with mozzarella and basils because I have like leftovers. Amazing. But one thing I want to do in the future is like full like JP streams. なんか日本語で喋ってる配信とかしたいです。私の日本語って完璧じゃないと思いますが、喋るときにはちょっとだけは基本的な会話とか、配信で喋る方は難しいことはないと思いますから、皆さんと話することはなんか問題はないと思いますけど、そう問題はなんか漢字を読めることじゃないですかと思います。なんか優しい人と私が日本語が苦手だと知ってる、なんかご存知ありますと、人たちはひらがなで書くとひらがなでなんかちょっとコメント打っちゃったりしていると思いますけど、初見様とかそういう人たちは多分漢字を使って読むやすい感じかもしれないけど、私って漢字読むのは本当に下手ですから、そのリスナー様が来て、いただいて、そういう感じでコメントをなんか打つなら、私は多分読めないんですから、それがちょっとだけ、悪い気分というですね。初見様が来て、その人が、初見ですか、何々を何のしてるですかというなら、ひらがな、読むことができるですけど、その漢字を私が読むないと、その人と会話するのが無理ですから。日本語の雑ってしたいですけど、その、不安なことがありますから、会話ができない私がそのコメントを翻訳しても、それが、日本語、リスナー様が言ってる、その人の言葉の意味が 100% 私が理解するものと 100% みたいな、一致する出来がないと思いますから、難しいと思いますけど、でも、日本語で話せるのが結構好きで、今レッスンとかしますけど、日本語で表現するのが本当に、表現語と言いますか？ adjective？ 何かを表現するのが本当に多いと思いますから、オノマトペとか、日本語と漢字と言いますけど、本当に何を表現すると思いますなら、表現する言葉がたくさんあるですから、いろいろな言葉を使って私が伝えたいことを表現するが楽しい好きと思いますから、日本語で雑談したいと思います。で、一つだけ不安になることがあっては、私の、会話の手順とか、私が会話する言葉は、結構面白い言葉はないんですと思います。私が、話せる言葉、話せる日本語って、可愛いというのは結構無理があったし、これとこの人敬語だけ使うキャラクターなんだという、その尊敬の礼儀がいっぱいある、話せるその表現力もいないから、私はちょっとだけこの姿でこの感じで喋ると、リスナー様とディスタンス、距離がちょっとだけある表現で日本語で話せるから、私がね、そうやって話せるみんなってカジュアルな感じで思ってるんでしょ？でも私的には、こんなに喋ると、緊張しすぎて私は、友達でも敬語みたいなのですますと、語を使って普通に喋るから、あなたたちとこういうキャジュアルにそのですますと使わなくて、表現するのは緊張するなと思いますからね。難しいです、それは。で、完璧に敬語とか勉強したら、キャラクターみたいな、この人は全部敬語のキャラクターのみたいに話せるですねと思いの風に日本語が上手くなったらいいねと思いますか？それは私の夢だけのものですね。To back in English, if you want to have a stream with Japanese, you ought to have clear way of speaking in JP, where you could be really casual,これラーメン食いて、お腹すきたの。This is a real fucking shit kind of comparison, but you could have those really fun personalities and fun way to speak. And then you can have characters where you're speaking Ojo-sama speech, or you're speaking more only in exceptionally polite speak. or it can be like casual, like cutesy, like speak. Or you can like be like yaru, like and speaking all in like those like trendy words from like TikToks and all the other stuff. But as of right now, I'm studying Japanese for more like a formal approach than the casual speaking. So I'm usually like have a when I'm speaking Japanese, I don't really particularly respectful, like in the code to speak like Keigo, which is the most like the respectful form of Japanese where you talk to in like political like world or like in company world. It's like putting up your like face to like face the society's like problems, but I'm just a tad bit like below that, where it could be just as simple as like talking to someone respectively, but not really like respectively. Like there's like a son keigo and there's like hey something go, and there's three different like types of like keigo that you have to be mind of. And I'm not really like versed with that, but I don't really like speak in casual manners because I don't really spend my life, like all your life in Japan to develop like such a casual language. Because if you don't really like spend your life in like early age in like Japan, you don't really have a chance to develop a casual speak, to be honest. Cause like 네 또 요とかなんか何々네何々だよ何々よ, like those words is not particularly like one you learn from, because most of the reference materials and most of the things you kind of learn is they're ending the sentences with des and must, which is the basic like form of respectable Japanese, at least in my knowledge. So I'm used to just saying those things regardless of like who am I speaking to. If I like speaking to a baby, like if I'm speaking to a little baby on the cradle, and I would like go up to them and say, aka-sama, aka-chan-sama, o genki desu ka? Like I would say like formal speak to like those babies too, regardless of their baby, their child, their like young adult, or like really old person. I have to put my utmost respect to them. So, yeah, but as your ages, you don't really want to speak in those casual manners. So, that is that. I don't actually know at this point what I want to learn from like those Japanese lessons and speaking lessons and studies. But someday, if I somehow able to converse with any like Japanese person, I'd like to have dedicated like challenge where I only speak in Japanese, which is one of my like passion language as English, which is a kind of like fun story. Delicious. I think there is a difference between practical language and passionate language. Where my mother tongue is I learned out of necessities, Cause when you're going through like elementary school, like middle school, and like junior highs and all the other stuff, then you are like expected to use your mother tongue to like certain levels that you can converse with everyone about your daily needs. You will need like how to do groceries, how to do the simple business, how to do transactions, how to do like taxes, all the other stuff. If you can speak your mother tongue to a degree where you can like satiate your needs, which I can do, obviously. That is because I have been living like 20 plus years in this world. And those like things are learned from necessities, because like some chance you are like born from the country that uses your tongue, and you have like learn that language out of necessity because you have to survive. And then there is a language of passion, where you want to absorb to the most of the culture that everyone is talking about in outside of your mother tongue. Maybe it could be movies, it could be animations, it could be TV series, it could be novels, it could be even just like celebrities and just like short form contents, whatever. So there is a whole other language of passion that you learned out of interest to satisfy your interest. And for me, English has been my biggest passionate language I want to learn and speak. Because, you know, when your first language isn't the English, you are at essentially like other person's mercy to like, oh no, I think I have said the premise is wrong. If you are like born with a mother tongue that isn't an English, but you are taking a like to a foreign culture that is predominantly English based, for example, a movie or TV series or gaming or even like novels, then your passion lies on the language that you cannot speak or read or write. And in that case, your expansion of your passion as a hobby or habit or even a job is solely dependent on other people's mercy. As in, like community members of that fandom trying to translate a certain part of the thing into your mother tongue. Or there is a mercy of the company that really like holds, if you the holds that IP, that they will have official effort to translate them into your mother tongue. Or there's a group of people who are dedicated to make like a fan sub or a language patch or something to translate those passionate things into your language. Or there's a mercy of translators where your language and English have enough traction to create a precise the translations between the two. And as from the like a young age, I really hated that. I really hated how I was in the mercy of another people to be passionate about what I really like. So that was my drive to learning on English. And that is why, despite being my first language isn't English, I take my time and effort to speak in English and be part of the English speaking communities, even if I'm just like looking or like communicating with themselves, I want to speak with them in proper English where I can share my passions and share my intentions with them. And because of that, English is very really大切って英語でなんだっけ大切 important not important but mindful. I think English is very a mindful language to me that I can expand it and unchain myself from someone else's effort and can search and appreciate the original media. And recently that is to Japanese because I believe in my life I have reached a certain degree where I can express myself better in English if it is something that I'm really passionate about. And I'm passionate about a lot of things, but about animes and about the games and about multimedia programs and about like comics and mangas and art and all the like other stuff that's related to it. I think I'm passionate enough to speak those in English and like communicate them within English. So because of that confidence, I'm more akin to like speaking to Japanese. I'm reading the Japanese and reading like without translations and speak without translations and hear about without translations. And because my like focus on right now is that regard that without someone else's like mercy, it is like this. When there is a manga that is really interesting to me, but that manga is only like published in the area where it is only available to like Japanese language. There is no official translations and no like scanlations. And groups I picked that up because they're such a minor. Or there's like Twitter one-shots and Twitter like mangas that like fan artists like put on. And you just want to like understand what is going on in the thing. And I feel like same passion toward the Japanese and when I was learning English. So yeah, I want to incorporate the language as much as possible in my life. And maybe it could be like futile, but I do want to do like JP Judge stream where I just speak about my interest, about my things in my life. It could be interesting. And low-key, what I really want to do is then speaking with unreal English speakers, because I believe my English in a level where it can be understood, but I still find myself like struggling to properly express myself with the word and with expressions, idioms. There's like many other aspects of my speak that isn't really up to standard with some people. And it doesn't really matter with people who are second languaging the English, but for the natives who are speaking English as their first language, my expression and way of speaking could be more encrypted than I think. So if I can like hold conversation with any other English speakers, and I feel like they could be just as meaningful as like my self-evaluations or like certifications. And I wish like I could make some friends in this scene, right? Who knows? Who knows, in the future I make some like friends in the scene and maybe like we could play a game together. And if it's like some game or like Minecraft where you just have to converse about just a little thing, or maybe like really complex game like co-op games with like specific vocabulary and languages you have to speak in order to solve the puzzles, then I will be like put myself to the test where I can really converse with people, because I don't really have really a lot of time to properly converse with people. So, maybe like in next 3 years, if I'm somehow lived through those years, I'd like to hold some like collabs with someone other from like my current like social circles to actually like test my English speaking abilities. Because I really don't want to like fault others about like speaking their minds, and I won't be able to like perceive them. I want to properly recognize them. I want to really properly perceive them, recognize them, and want to think about it, and I want to like answer like properly and exactly. And who knows, I might be like crumble in like those high stress situations, like thinking about like Apex or Helldivers or Valorant or like Split Factions or GTAs or what other games there's high intensities. Counter-Strike? Imagine like High Gods? Overwatch? Like imagine like those games without like, I usually play like single player games, right? But if the IT like collab partners want to play me about like some co-op games, maybe like Little Nightmares, they have to like yell me like or keep talking or explode, that kind of things, then I'm sure be able to understand their language properly, right? So that is why I kind of like put it to the test. Will I be able to understand properly, or will I able to like explain what I want to do properly to them? Because if I like stumble to the word, and if I stumble to the things that doesn't really if I can't like convey what I want to say, or really can't emphasize with their point of views or understand what they're trying to say, then the converse would not happen. I cannot hold the conversation. So who knows, I think I'm gonna say this right now. Within 3 years, I want to collab with other person to put myself to the test. When I will I able to hold a conversation or like a difficult discussions with them? It could be really interesting. But that's a long time ago. You know me, I don't really reach out. I'm more inside of natural currents, which is nonsense. Like natural currents of like person and a person somehow like meet together and they have similar attributes to hold a conversation. I personally think that is more faint chance than one is struck by lightning. The chance that someone somehow like naturally meet someone and they have a faintly similar interest to hold a conversation to like 3 minutes or longer is a fat chance. Huh? I know it because I have like volunteers and a lot of like gigs and a lot of students activities or even like university days. I have like talking to unwilling persons or like the random people in the crowd where unless you have like past interactions with them, you cannot hold the people to do a 30-second explanation about the things. Even like think about if you like doing a part-time jobs and you're handing out those like leaflets or posters to the random people on the street. And how many people do you think that like even says like thank you or oh I'm interested? It is akin to zero to none because you are shoving your agendas and your characters into a random people who usually don't give a thing about you and your product. And that's what it is to like reach someone like completely random and create a meaningful like bond to just even converse about 30 seconds. Just such a low quantity. So what you have to do is like strategically like somehow confront someone with interest or somehow having some intentions to converse someone with the like you have to somehow be mindful of who they are before striking a conversation. You have to strategically study about the subject and then you have to lead the conversation to what you want rather than them like saying your mind, which is like basic social skills, and I really don't have a altitude or even things to do that. So, but still, I think there is a lucky chance that someone who have an idea of like who shares the same idea about something I like, and maybe in some fat chance, maybe I will like striking light things, and I will can converse with the people who have the same interest. Isn't it funny? But yeah, cheers to those natural occurrings. It will be like fat chance, but I sure like hope to. Cheers. Oh man, I'm drunk. I'm very drunk. I just like closed my eyes and it kinda like wobbles me. And it's understandable cause I almost like drank everything from this bottle. And it was really enjoyable. Like come on, like this art is like gorgeous. It really feels like celebratory where I don't have any like celebratory things in my life. I don't have like anything to celebrate in my life right now. And I don't really have like, event planned in my life to celebrate something in my life either. Or like there is a goal that's like come to my life and it could be celebrated with everyone. There is like no surprises. It is just a flat line of like if there's this is like event axis and this is like a time axis, you know? And my life is just a flat line where nothing really happens at the moment. But this drink alone really feels like celebration. It really feels like I'm celebrating something and this drink is like celebrating me. Maybe this drink is like celebrating me for somehow living through this week. Somehow it's saying that you have done a great job by living the moments, as you say. So maybe I feel a little bit more cheerful and celebratious. Is that even an English word? But you know what I mean, like celebratory. Thank you for like this drink to celebrate me from being alive. And man, this is such a lovely drink. I'm sitting right here. Maybe there could be something interesting or something could be more celebrated in the futures. But then when that future comes, I don't have like Yuki-yo-zuki bihapo because this is so special drink in my life. I have like waiting for this drink to be like restocked or like republished because this was like such a rarity because I don't know, like those like restrictions and requirements, and it was really like heartbroken when I couldn't really get like this one. And it's suddenly like here, and you know, this is such a perfect moment to like drink, such a perfect moment to share a glass or two, such a perfect moment to appreciate the drink. But I cannot really help but to think about maybe if there is something more celebratory, maybe something to cheer for the better things than this moment right now. It's only natural because this drink was such a perfection. I adore this drink, and when I'm like accustomed to like those like special collab drink, whenever I drink something ordinary, like something ordinary like sparkling sake or something ordinary like junmai sake drink, I just like keep comparing to like those like perfections, because you know, this sort of like drink is special drink made in a special quantity where they can really like quality assurance to a degree where it is intended for the original intentions. So I'm kind of spoiled as a drinker right now. If I drink such a good drink like this right now, I cannot really take something worse than this, you know? If I'm drinking like, you know, like sparkling sake in the future, I will be forever comparing to this moment, because this moment was such a perfection. It is what it is, I think. I really enjoy the drink. I really enjoy the pairings. I really enjoy talking about the drink. And thank you for allowing me to create these wonderful drinks. And Who knows, maybe in the future she will create a drink that is maybe like better aged sake, who knows? Or maybe like genmaishu, which is like barley fermented rice, or even like namazake, which is still the yeast is like living inside the sake, so it is really fresh and refreshing. Who knows, maybe she is like sake loving Yuki-yo now. Enjoy the stream and having a drink on the side. Well, that's a thankful thing to hear. So, like, who knows, in the future when Yuki-yo-zuki... Like, there's like Yuki-yo-zuki, there's like Yuki... Hi-sora. Yuki-hi-sora? Maybe there is like this, if this is a night version, there's like a day version where daylight snowing with like the sun is still on. Who knows, maybe something like young winter nights, young winter days, that kind of like feelings. Maybe she will release something more from like those collabs, and from like for her collab drinks, like Yuki-yo-zuki and Yuki-yo-zuki Bihapo, I really thoroughly enjoyed both of the bottles and its taste. Maybe I'm biased because I really like her too, but beside from those bias, I do tasted something similar in the subject and categories, and I really like those one too, but I really like this better. So, you know, maybe I'm really like fond of like this time of drinks too. And I'm pretty drunk, and I think for right now, I don't have another thing to really express at the moment. Alright, since the next week, Monday is like a holiday, and since I have a 3-day weekend ahead, this is like a blank promise, but I kind of want to. I have been like collecting the game stream that I like said I would be continue from the last year, which is like metaphor streams, and I'm really like, what the fuck? Calm down, Yusuf. So I was like, I really want to like play the game too. And maybe the opportunity is gonna present itself. Maybe, in a fat chance. If there's like still like some things to do in the weekend, despite being it is a weekend. But yeah, if there is like no interference with my status, I might want to just play the game myself. Alright. The JP trip like stream that is from like Raki Mama, it's planned on this channel, but at this moment she kinda like says that you cannot really like talk about the most of the thing that you have done, because I don't know, maybe it can be like fabricated or like be more like streamlined, but there wasn't really a lot of things in the trips that we just like visited somewhere and visited this shop, this like restaurant, so there wasn't really like streamlined thing to say. That stream might be like cancelled in the futures, but who knows, maybe like some late night with the nostalgia, we will like retell the story of the trips in like fond memories. I think that's all for today then. It was really like privilege up to me to enjoy this drink with you. And it was really wonderful drink to have on the late night. It was really refreshing. And despite the pairings could be a little bit more out-tuned than what I hoped to be, the pairings with the miso was exceptional, and the pairing with the caprese salad was kind of like nice too. And maybe I want to prepare like a bunch of ingredients tomorrow, in like future dates. And maybe I taste the drink and I can like conjure up like right now. I don't think I can do like a cooking stream because of the I don't have like a mobile setup to my kitchen. But if I could, I want to like do a stream where there is a drink, and maybe I can like quickly somehow like create some dish that could be benefit from like elaborate the taste of this drink to another level. Yes. Yuki-yo-zuki is a really nice brand. I really hope her to like release more of this stuff. This is really like premium made. This is really like made with cares and QAs, and really thoroughly enjoyable, and I hope that you have enjoyed this drink too. And I think that's all. Thank you for really like tuning into the streams and having a word with me, having a share your opinions, having said something to like me to reflect and react on, and just thank for the time you shared to be with me. That is a great and amazing actions that I appreciate so much. I don't know when will be the next drinking stream, because like frankly, outside of like these collaborated products, like everyone just like buys without questions. Since we are kind of like reducing the times that we drink, even inside our homes, we just don't drink that much. I'm doubtful that we will buying drink that will be like in a point where like unique enough to be like reviewed in this channel in this format. So I don't know when will be the next time we will be drinking together. But if there is a chance, I will be make sure to share it with all of you. So until then, like forever cheers, and thank you for always to not a slant, thank you for like cheering with me and my little nice drink. And I hope to see you the next time. However long it will take to us to rendezvous the next time, and I hope that we will be always able to meet together to share our brains and share our thoughts, their impressions. And until then, mata rena. I kind of want to do like more things with like those hand cams, because it is such a high definition and such an upgrade to like those like webcams. So I don't really know what I could do. Is that I don't really do like building a gun plus, or I don't really do like keyboard stuff, or I don't really like Legos. So I don't know what I could really done with the hand cams. Maybe reading my palms. Maybe doing my nails. That's kind of boring too. Well, drawing, writing. I can like put on my notepad and maybe like write, but it doesn't really have objective to the writings. like maybe like a live painting, but it's kind of embarrassing. But you know, since I have like this setup, I kind of want to do more things with this. So if you have some ideas, please add me on the Twitter and ask me about some ideas that you have for me to maybe like partake in the future. And my hand is kind of looking cute in these settings. But like a redness of the fingertips are really like shown, so it is kind of cute. I kind of like how it like looks. So thanks for watching, and I hope to like see you in the next time. So take care, and I hope to see you on the next streams, and next drinking streams, next gaming streams, whatever it could be. So see you.